Hello dear students, let's resume our discussion on circular queue using arrays. In the previous video, which was the first video on the circular queue, we saw what is the difference between linear queue and circular queue by seeing one disadvantage of linear queue. If this is a linear queue and if we want to insert 60 in this queue, then overflow will be announced because rear has already attained 4 and front is at 2. But watch, these two elements are vacant, so actually overflow should not have announced because 60 has lot of place over here in the queue. This disadvantage was removed by circular queue. If front is at 2 in circular queue and rear is at 4 and we want to insert 60, then 60 will be inserted at place 0 and rear, which was 4, will now become 0. After seeing some fundamentals of circular queue, in this video onwards, we will see implementation of circular queue, of course in C language. So as far as implementation is concerned, the declaration of circular queue is same as linear queue. That is, queue will be declared as a structure, and you know structure has array of fixed size. Here the size is 5. You can see that size is hash defined constant. So you have array of size 5 of type integer, and we have two counters, front and rear. So the same declaration we had for linear queue also. And then the operations, you know, for a queue are insert, delete, display. These are the three major operations. So let's see what main does. Before we see the insert operation, main as usual declares a variable called queue of type queue. So queue is going to be a structure variable, and queue will contain array because it is of type queue, and this array has fixed size from 0 to 4 and two counters, front and rear. Don't forget, if you want more such queues, you can simply declare more variables such as w if you declare. So q is a queue and w is also a queue, isn't it? So w will be another box which will contain its own array, front and rear. Not such a good picture, but I hope you can understand, isn't it? So you can create as many queues as possible. You just have to declare variables of queue type. But in this program, we have declared only one queue because we just want to demonstrate the operations on the queue. Also, you know the significance of this line. We should initialize front and rear to -1. Why? Because the queue is certainly empty right now. So queue is empty if front is -1. And then we have written a menu driven program using do while loop and switch case, where the options are first for insert, second delete, 3 display, 4 destroy, and 5 exit. And user enters the choice. And let's say user enters choice as 1. So user is interested in inserting a new value. So we ask the user which value you want to insert, and we take the value in X. Let's say X is 10. So we are interested in inserting 10 in the circular queue. This is the call to insert. And everybody, I am sure, is comfortable with this call now. We are passing address of the queue and the value we want to insert. That's the call to insert. Okay, I think we are ready to go to insert function. Here is the insert function. And let's see how this insert runs. This P gets the address of the queue and X is 10. So here is the queue which has array of size 5 and front. Recall, front is -1. Main did this. Main function also did rear equal to -1. So the queue is currently empty. Locations 0 to 4. Okay, let's run this insert. We want to insert 10. P as usual is storing address of the queue. Check this. P is storing address of the queue. So P points to queue. Now in this insert function, we have declared one local variable pause, stands for position. And look how pause is evaluated. Pause is evaluated with this formula, where in the bracket we have p arrow rear plus 1. Note p arrow rear is -1 at the moment. So this will become -1 plus 1, which is 0. And finally, percent size has been written, where percent size means %phi, because size is a constant. Now this percent operator, as you all know, is the remainder operator, mod operator. Well, I am sure, or it is expected that you know what is percent operator, but just do a short revision of percent operator. If you are asked what is 5% 2, then 5% 2 is 1, because 2 into 2 is 4, and what remains is 1. So what if you are asked what is 1% phi? Just check this, 1% phi. It is 1. Remainder is 1, because you are dividing 1 with phi. Now come on, division is not possible. Then whatever is given itself is the remainder, isn't it? Only thing you can do is phi into 0 is 0 and remainder is 1. So observe something. If you do a% b, because where a and b are two values, and if a is less than b, you're doing a% b, 1 is less than phi, isn't it? Then don't think too much. The answer is left hand side. That is remainder that you get. If you divide a smaller value with the larger value, then the remainder is always the smaller value. So watch out. What will be 1% phi? It will be 1. 2% phi should be 2. Because division is not possible, isn't it? So whatever is given itself is the remainder. 3% phi is 3. 4% phi is 4. And what is 5% phi? 5% phi is going to be 0. Phi into 1 is phi and remainder is 0. Okay, I hope you know what is percent operator if you didn't know this. Okay, let's come back to our code. Here we go. What was pos calculated as? Pos was calculated as -1 plus 1, because rear is -1, then plus 1. So that amounts to be 0. And then percent phi. So 0% phi is 0. So pos has come out to be 0 now. Now this variable pos is so important, because what pos is going to tell us, is what is the position at which that new value 10 is the new value that should get inserted. And now the new value should get inserted at pos place, that is at 0 place. And rightly so, because this 0 place is the first place which is available, isn't it? But wait, before that, we are going to check for a condition of overflow. See when the circular queue is overflown. If position of insertion, that is pos, if pos is equal to P arrow front. If this is true, then announce overflow. Wait a minute, pos is 0, just now we evaluated, and front is -1. Check the box above, front is -1. So this condition is false. So it won't announce overflow, and really so. Queue is not overflown. Come on, it is empty right now. So we will land in else and we will continue with insertion. I hope you are understanding. Let me clean a few things and then we will resume our discussion. Pos or position of insertion has come out as 0 and everything is okay. The queue is not overflown. Good. So we are in the else. Let's execute this line. P arrow rear becomes 0 because pos is 0. Look at P arrow rear. It was -1. Now it becomes 0. And then next line is at rear place of the array. Come on, rear is 0 now. It was -1, but now it is 0. So A of 0 becomes 10. That's it. 10 has got inserted. By the way, after these two lines, in the else itself, we have written a nested if. This is to check for the first insertion. We are asking just now, whatever value we inserted just now, was it the first insertion? When it will be the first insertion? Obviously when front is -1. If front is -1, if this is true, then it means that before this there was no element in the queue. And watch, at this moment front is -1. Yes, watch it here. Front is -1 in the box. If front is -1, we will forcibly make front equal to 0. So front is also 0. Perfect queue we have, where there is only one element, that is 10 in the queue. 10 is the frontmost. So 0th element is the frontmost. And 10 is the rearmost. So 0th element is the rearmost. And that ends the insert function. We will do a few repetitions of insert. Initially you won't like it, I think. But you will see why I am doing repetition of this insert with few more values, because I want to tell you the magic or the use of that percent operator over there, and why such a complex formula has been written to calculate the position. Okay, so let's try to insert 20 in the queue now. Watch the queue again, drawn in the box. Only 10, that is front is 0 and rear is also 0. Let's try to insert 20. Now the pause will be calculated as rear plus 1. Now rear is already 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. And then percent size is 5. Now 1% 5, be careful, is 1. So position of insertion has come out as 1. And rightly so, this new value 20 that is going in the queue should go at first place. Come on, that's the next available place, isn't it? So position of insertion is 1. But we don't so easily insert that value at pause place. First we check for overflow. The overflow condition is the position of insertion and is the position of front same? Are they equal? They aren't, because position of insertion is 1 and front is 0. You watch this, front is 0 and position of insertion is 1, so they are not equal. So we will land in else, and in else we say P arrow rear should become pause. Pause is 1, so watch out, rear which was 0 is now becoming 1. Rightly so, rear should become 1 because 20 is going at first place. After that, array 1 first element, because rear is 1, will become 20. So 20 goes at first place. And now this condition is going to be false, obviously, because front isn't -1, front is 0. This is not the first insertion, and the insert function ends. I hope you got this. I hope you got, first of all, the operation or all the statements in place and how these statements execute one after the other. Now tell me, if we are inserting 30, just be with me. What if we are inserting 30 in this queue? What will happen? Obviously, pause will become 1 plus 1. Observe rear in the box. Rear is 1. 1 plus 1, that is 2%. Size is 5. 2% 5 is 2. So position of insertion is 2. And position of insertion equal to front is false. Front is still 0. Position is 2. So it is not yet overflown and will land in else, in which we will say rear should become equal to 2. This is the position of insertion, isn't it? So rear which was 1 will now become 2. And the second element of the array A of 2 will become 30. And this is not the first insertion, so this if will be false and the insert will end. Okay, now I am not executing this insert line by line for next two elements. Just imagine you have inserted 40. So 40 will obviously go at third place, 50 will go at fourth place, and by that time, rear is going to be 4. Agreed? Rear is going to be 4. Now queue is full. There is absolutely no place in this queue. And now suppose you call for inserting 60. What should happen? Come on, overflow must be declared because this queue is perfectly full, isn't it? So what it does, you see, this pause calculated now will be P arrow rear plus 1, where P arrow rear is 4. Check the box, rear is 4 over there. 4 plus 1, that's 5. 5% 5, size is 5. Come on, 5% 5 is 0. So position of insertion is 0. Now what my program is saying is you want to insert 60, okay? But 60 can't go after this, after the fourth place. So try to insert 60 at place 0. Look at the position of insertion is 0. So we are trying to insert 60 at place 0, but before that we are going to check the if. If position of insertion is same as position of front, watch this. What is position of insertion? 0. And what is position of front? 0. Please check front in the box over there. Front is 0. So we are trying to insert the new value at place 0, but front is standing at place 0. Come on, this is overflow, isn't it? it will announce overflow and it will not go to else. So however number of times now you call the insert, it's always going to shout, there is no place. There is no place in the array, isn't it? That's how this percent operator has come and done all the trick. I hope you are understanding. I've still not finished with the discussion. Here we go. Very interesting discussion we are heading to. You see this, that it might happen that the queue is holding these values. Okay, I agree it is full, and user, just a minute, and user deletes 10 and deletes 20. So now all of you know if these two elements are deleted, front is going to be 2, isn't it? Correct, because 30 is the frontmost, which is at second place, and rear is 4. Now you watch, the first two elements are as good as empty. What do you say? 10 is deleted, correct, and 20 is deleted. Now think of that after doing two deletions, you call insert again. Come on, this is circular queue. Remember, this is circular queue, and you want to insert 60. 60 is welcome now. You won't get overflow. Let's see how. What will be position calculated? Rear is 4, check the box. Rear is 4 plus 1, which is 5. 5% 5, which is 0. So position of insertion is 0. That means the new element 60 should go at place 0. And come on, 60 can go at place 0. Yes, because frontmost element is standing at 2. So front element is standing at 2. So that means there are some elements vacant before front, and we can surely insert 60 over there. Yes, everyone, I hope you are understanding the concept over here is position has come out as 0, but position is 0 and front is 2. So really the queue is not overflown, and we are going to land in else, and rear will become equal to 0 because pos is 0. Look how abruptly rear, which was 4, is now becoming 0. Rear was at fourth place, and circularly rear has become 0. And at that place, that is rearmost place, 0th place, we are going to hold 60. 60 goes at this place. And that's it. This is not the first insertion. Front is not -1. So insert ends. What a fantastic queue we are having. You watch. The queue here, let me clean out the few things again. The queue here is having front equal to 2. Watch out. Front is 2 and rear is 0. What that means is that the queue is now holding the values starting from front. Be careful. So front is 2, that is storing 30, then 40, then fourth element is 50, and 0th element is 60. First element is still vacant. But this is front. Front is 2 and rear is 0. That means the elements of the queue in that order are 30, 40, 50, and 60. I hope you got this. So very, very fast, very quickly, you help yourselves in executing insert for one more time. What if you insert 70 in this queue? Is there any place? Yes, of course. Yes, of course, there is a place. The queue is still not overflown. What will be the pos calculated? Be very careful in substituting the values. Rear plus 1 now is 0 plus 1. Come on, check that box. Rear is 0 here, isn't it? Rear is 0. So 0 plus 1 is 1. Percent size is 5. So 1% 5 is 5. So position of insertion is 1. And of course that position is valid because position is 1 and front is 2. So they are not equal. So it is still not overflown, and we will go to else. We will make rear equal to pos. Pos is 1. So rear, which was 0, will now become 1. And the new value will go at first element. So 70 will go at the first element. And as it is not first insertion, this if is false and the insert will end. Finally, you tell me, finally, I hope you are holding a lot of patience, but I hope you found this very interesting also. And you just tell me, finally, what will happen if you try to insert one more element in this queue? What will happen? As you are seeing in the picture, the queue is really full, isn't it? You can see all the array elements are packed now. So overflow should be declared. And how it will be declared? What if you are inserting 80 in this queue? What will happen? If you are inserting 80, what will be the pos calculated? Yes, pos will be 1 plus 1. Check the rear in the box. Rear is 1. So 1 plus 1, that's 2. 2% size. Size is 5. 2% 5 is 2. So position of insertion is 2. That means you have a plan of inserting 80 at second place. But 80 you are planning to put at second place. But second place is the place of the front. Watch, that front is 2. How can you put 80 on top of 30? Because 30 is still a valid element in the queue. It is standing at front. So if position of insertion is same as position of front, you announce queue overflow and then don't go to else. Now the insertion won't be done. However number of times you call insert, it's going to shout overflow. I think after this elaborate explanation, you won't have any trouble in understanding insertion in the circular queue. Thank you very much.